Turn my headphones up. All right.
Damn, Jay,
It's 8:15 with the Trap Queen. 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 You know the vibes. Yeah, you know the vibes. What's up, beautiful people? It's Pretty Girl Loves Trap Content. And we are here this lovely Thursday evening to discuss season 2. Lord, I'm tripping. Episode 2 of the Continental. Okay, I hope I'm speaking something into fruition because I really do hope we get a season 2 because I can already tell 3 episodes is not going to be enough for me. I really feel like they're doing a great job with this show. But I'm not sure if I want to get enough closure in episode, 3. Like, I feel like they're going to cover the bases, but I know I'm going to be wanting more. Therefore, I hope you guys are listening. Okay, writers, producers, anybody that's funding this project, please don't be stingy. Okay, feel free to give us a second season. Okay, I won't be mad. I won't be mad. Okay, but the season 2 was definitely episode 2 is definitely a great episode. We're gearing up for the next episode, which airs tomorrow. But please make sure you're doing all the things by liking this video, subscribing to my channel if you're a subscriber. Okay, what are we doing here? And yes, make sure you're sharing this content, of course, with the writer's strike. We didn't get a lot of advertising, okay? It's a lot of word of mouth that's going on when it comes to promoting these shows. So please feel free to share my videos and let's get down in the chat and have fun if you're watching live. If you're watching the replay, let's get down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and what was your favorite, moments and favorite characters of the show, okay? So we get a little more background into the history of the brothers. Okay, so it starts off back in 1955 as it did last episode, and we're in the Bronx. Okay, Bronx, New York. Okay, if y'all don't know, so we see little mischievous Winston and Franklin is over there getting a little Molotov cocktail together, and I'm like, what are you young bucks going to do? So Frankie was trying to, have all the fun, I guess. And Winston was like, no, why do you have me here? Like, I want to have fun with these cocktails as well, all right? So Winston decides to throw the cocktail inside of a window of an apartment building, okay? And then he gets alarmed when he hears people screaming. I'm like, did you guys do your due diligence? Did you just assume that this was a vacant building? Like, what are we doing here? What is going on, Frankie and Winston? Like, I don't understand why you guys really thought this was an empty building. Or if it was even an empty building, it could affect the next building with other people. So I don't know. But once Winston realized that there were people in that building, of course, he started freaking out, crying and everything. Frankie's like, yo, we have to go. We have to go. We don't have time to be sticking around. So they eventually leave. And my assumption is that this is possibly the event that led them to the police station that we saw in episode 1. So I'm curious as to what happened with those people. Like, did they die? Were they just injured? Because if Frankie took the rap, it seems like he possibly did, because they mentioned that Frankie was in prison. So I'm not sure if it's exactly for this situation. I'm just going to assume it probably is. But I want to know, how much time did he get? They both are minors apparently. So I know they don't give minors as much time as they do adults, but I'm just curious. So I hope they kind of loosen those details up and explain a little more when we get into episode 3, because I'm a little curious. Okay. So we get that scene, right? So we cut back to their current day, back to the 70s, right? And we see that Frankie and R.I.P. Frankie, I didn't mean to mention you. Winston and Miles, they're over there, cremating Frankie. and they're using this, coroner's assistant Ezra to do so. And they're making sure that this is quick, fast, and in a hurry. I have my theories as to why they're doing so, but I don't know. We see they leave somebody out of the decision, so we'll get into that. But yes, they use Ezra to cremate your boy Frankie. All right. And so, speaking of the person they left out, Miss Yin. Okay, Yin, I already knew from what we saw of her in episode 1 that this woman has lived a life. Okay, so we come back. She was like a few years. Okay, prior to where we at now. And we're in Saigon in 1973. And so we see pregnant Yin, what seemingly is her mate, okay? And she's apologizing to him about not being able to produce a son to him. So it looks like she's pregnant with his daughter while he's strapping up a bomb to her belly. I'm like, yo, what is going on here? Okay. So she's trying to apologize and, she's assuming this is why I'm in this predicament. Okay. But he's like, well, we all have to do sacrifices and this is your calling and this is your sacrifice. So we see her, kind of go through the streets of Saigon. And then it looks like she's pretty much, I don't know if necessarily is a military base. It's more so like seemed like the town that the American soldiers were in. And she goes into this bar and the soldiers are fraternizing with the nice women's, okay? The Vietnamese women having a good old time dancing, making out, doing what they do. I don't know. I got a little triggered because I spent some time in a military town. And the amount of stories I would hear about the soldiers living double lives, having multiple families and multiple cities and countries. It was baffling to me. So this kind of gave me some insight on possibly how these things might have happened, right? So Yin finds herself in the middle of like the little dance floor or the bar, if you will, and she pushes the button of the bomb and is not going off. Which is a good thing because Frankie's in there and that's when they lock eyes. But I'm like, what's going on? Was this a test? Like, I needed a little more insight. Like, what's going on here? Was this just a test? I don't understand. But her and Frankie lock eyes. So it seems, of course, it's the first time that they meet. Of course, she is pregnant. I'm curious to find out what happened with this pregnancy. But this is some background, I guess, on how Frankie and Yin first met. Okay. So, oh, Lord, we over here in Chinatown, all right? And so apparently there's a special Amazon or UPS delivery of a cigarette machine, okay? And, it's at the dojo, okay? And this was not agreed upon with the siblings, especially Luke. So she's asking the delivery person, like, this does not go here. And he said, well, this belongs here. So we know I'm going to call him the town bully. Okay, the town bully pretty much states like, hey, this is how things are going to go. Okay, so you're going to put this cigarette machine in your establishment. And of course, we know it's to make money for him. And she explains like, hey, the last guy that was in charge of this part of town, he had an agreement with my father. And they pretty much decided to stay out each other's way. Okay. And, we're not doing none of this. Okay. But it's going to be a struggle with these two. I already know. I'm anticipating on what's going to happen in episode 3 because things are heating up. All right. So we get a little tip about Frankie. Okay. KD is in her apartment with her little ball / fling Mayhem, right? And she's upset because he broke into her apartment and gave her the files of Frankie. And she's on the phone. She gets this tip. So she immediately goes to the coroner. And the coroner's like, he's not even here. He's missing. So, of course, Ezra's being questioned. He's acting like he don't know what's going on. So Katie decides to kind of pressure him a little bit, okay? And she lightweight kicks his behind. she does a little twisty twist, a little situation with the whole arm. And of course, he divulges a little information. He's saying, there was two guys that was inquiring about Frankie. One, it seems like he's his brother. He was a fancy out of towner. And the other guy, he's not quite sure. So she also learns that, they had a green VW van, and, they're in Chinatown. Okay. So she gets this information from Ezra, because Ezra, I'm sure you got paid plenty of money to keep your mouth shut, sir. And you let this woman over here bully you into telling the information. But she kind of was threatening him, because she was like, a coroner's assistant. Yeah, I'm sure there's a little unsavory things that goes on around here, sir. So I guess he was trying to protect himself, because we already see, I've seen some shows where coroners be doing some freaky things with the, the deceased bodies and whatnot. So yeah, he probably didn't want to open those can of worms. What's up, Inga? What's up, DeMarcus and Lady Virtue? Thank you for coming through. Let me know how y'all like the show if y'all watching it. So, y'all, oh Jesus Christ. There's certain elements of this show that stresses me out, because I'm like, what is going to happen? So we're over here, and then we have the crew. Okay, they're assembled in like a little semicircle, and we're surrounded. We're surrounding Frankie's urn. All right, so Frankie is cremated, is done, is a deal. Okay, so Miles expresses, and explains like, oh, frankly, he had a little trick because there was pretty much a switcheroo with the coin press. So the coin press is still out there, nowhere to be found. All right. So I'm like, Frankie, what are you up to, sir? Now we see that there was some, effects left behind that Winston has. It's like a little coin. It looks like some keys. So I'm assuming that these keys possibly is a locker or something where the coin press is located. We gonna see. Okay, Inga. Thank you, though. I appreciate you coming through. So Winston he's out for war. He's out for blood. Okay. He says, I'm going to take down Cormac, and I need you all to be along with me. And of course, there's some hesitation, of course. All right. Because if you're talking about getting Cormac, that means everybody in the Continental is going to have Cormac's back. It may be other people that's around that's not currently residing at the Continental. So this feat is very much courageous. All right. So enlisting Miles and Lou and Lemmy, that's not enough. Okay. Even Miles was like, are you sure? Do you understand what's going on? Do you understand what you're asking of us? And I'm like, yes, please ask the important questions, because Winston, I understand you have a long history with Cormac. You're dealing with the death of your brother, rightfully so. But you need to come prepared, sir. You need to come prepared. And Lemmy was like, how are you going to pull this off? So of course, now we have to talk about, we're needing more people. Okay. We need to start recruiting. So, what we have to do, we have to go to LinkedIn. We have to, get some feelers out and find some formidable, adversaries of Cormac that needs, to assist us. Right. So, we come up with two people. We have, the dad of Lou and Miles. He had a friend that's apparently still in the game. His name is Gene Jenkins. And then we also think it's a good idea to discuss possibly getting Maisie on our side, because she handles the Bowery. Okay. And before we adjourn this meeting, Yin comes in and she's distraught, right? Because, she was previously just laying in the bed, because, she had a lot going on with her body, because she was having the series of the fights in that apartment building in episode 1. And Lou was, nursing her to care. So, Yin comes in a little sluggish, and she's like, Frankie, where's Frankie? She's a little disoriented. And she sees that the urn is there. So, of course, she does the math. 2 + 2. Oh, that's my husband in there. So she decides to lightweight kicks everybody's ass. But she's extremely upset with Winston because she feels like Winston kind of brought this on by, putting the, people on their tail. And I understand her feelings, but at the same time, I don't know. I kind of feel like they eventually I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think they would eventually have found Frankie without Winston going to their home? Let me know your thoughts. So she's upset. Very much so, okay? And Miles is like, oh, this girl kicked some good ass, all right? We need her. We need her because our team is looking very much light. We need a lot of help. So we're at the Continental, right? So we're introduced to this new cellist, Thomas, okay? He's playing his poor little heart out. He's serving as the entertainment, if you will, all right? And Cormac, he's very much having a great meal, and he gets a visit from the adjudicator, all right? And this is so hilarious because she is telling him, like, sir, yeah, you failed in, getting the coin press back. So you guys have 3 days, or it's going to be some issues when it comes to the high table. And of course, he does not want any issues from the high table. And so she takes off her mask and excuse me, guys, and takes a bite of something that he's eating. And of course, we don't get to see her face. And I want to know what's going on with her face. What is this mask covering? Like, I'm a little frustrated because I want to see what's behind the mask. Because when she leaves, Cormac was like, oh Lord, I pretty much lost my appetite. Like, the face was doing too much. And I'm like, I want to see her face. Why y'all playing with me and covering this face up? I want to see what's going on. Okay. I'm not saying that, the mask is completely unnecessary because there may be something gruesome going on under there, but I just want to know what happened and how does it look? Like, it's giving very much scarred, according to Cormac. Not really serving as, pre-Halloween or, some sort of, mysterious vibe she's going for, right? So I just want to know what's going on with that. So he has 3 days to figure out what he's going to do to avoid the suspension of the high table and possibly some firing may be going on, all right? So, y'all, oh, Lord Jesus. Now, first impression of Gene Jenkins, I love him, okay? I love Gene. Not only is he a multitasker, he's a man after my own heart. Gene is having nice rooftop brunch with some wine. And he's also in the middle of an assassination. I love this. So we see Gene, he's on the roof. He's got some wine, some bread. It's giving very much, I'm on vacation, but not. So we see he's on the roof and he's looking down upon, and we see there's a kid birthday party going on, and there's a young fella there in attendance, all right? So he has his little, weapon of choice. And so he kind of looks at the little, little mirror, if you will, what have you. And it's kind of like a binocular, if you will, attached to the gun. So it looks like he has some sight issues, some vision problems that he needs to correct, okay? Because the first shot went to the tree next to the young fella, not to the young fella. But the second shot was very much accurate. And I'm like, oh my God, we're over here. We're over here ruining kids' lives because we have people getting assassinated at this party, okay? But I'm loving Gene automatically, okay? The multitasking alone is subpar. That is hilarious. Oh, God, Lady Virtue, you said, hopefully we'll get to know in the episode what she really looks like. I hope so, because I want to know the backstory. Because I don't like mysteries, okay? I'm nosy. Give me the information, all right? So, now, Charlie apparently is ghost, okay? I don't know where Charlie went at, but he's nowhere to be found, all right? But his friend, okay, Ronnie, he shows up at Charlie's place because he's coming to collect. This man had to fuel up the helicopter, okay? He got shot. He was a loyal, great friend, and he assisted with the escape of, Winston and Yen. And it could have been Charlie too. Sorry, not Charlie. It could have been Frankie, but Frankie decided to, save himself, not really save himself, but really save, his loved ones from, his actions. Okay. So in the midst of, collecting, what he could from missing Charlie, we see people approaching, the yard. So of course his son has to hide, and we see is Hansel and Gretel and the team. Okay, they are searching for this coin press, and the feelings I get when I see Hansel and Gretel on the screen is very much stressed out, because these people don't seem like they miss. They seem very much accurate. And when they are around, I get nervous. I feel like they're going to end up killing some people in episode 3. I really feel that. Okay. So, oh, Lord. Mm-mm-mm. So they're searching every looking candidate. I mean, they're searching the inside of the vehicles. I mean, they taking the engine out. Like, they're doing a whole lot. Okay. This coin press is pivotal. Okay. So we're going to see where this coin press ends up being, right? So Miles, he ends up visiting Gene, okay? Remind you, he's an old friend of his dad, and they have some rapport. He mentioned like, hey, Miles, I've known you since you were in diapers, okay? So he's kind of like an uncle figure, father, godfather, if you will, from my perspective, right? So Miles honestly low-key just manipulates Gene by recruiting him for this mission. He acts like he was checking up on Gene, like, hey, old man, won't you retire? Find you a nice little woman to retire with. He was like, yeah, I don't know what type of woman I would attract with the skills that I have. Like, I don't want that type of life. I'm okay. I like shooting people for money, and let that be that, okay? And apparently, Gene is an asset because he held a corner room in the Continental, right? And so he knows a lot about Cormac. And apparently they may have some bad blood, because once he, questions Miles about his endeavors to take over the Continental, he's like, if anybody deserves to die, it's Cormac. And I want it. And Miles is like, well, sir, you may be a liability because the eyes, is something going on. Gene is so ready to be a part of this plan. He says, I will go ahead and make a doctor's appointment and get some glasses. Gene, please do, because I'm a little nervous, because I'm hoping that this is not foreshadowing that is going to come situation in episode 3 that his eyesight is off, and that may cause him or someone else to lose their life. That makes me nervous. So we're going to have to see how this pans out, because they didn't put this in the episode for no reason, okay? So I don't know. We're going to have to see what's going on with that. So while Miles is over there recruiting his dad's friend Gene, we have Winston over here. We have to go see Maisie at the Bowery, okay? Now, the Bowery is something a little different, okay? He's clearly out of place, because if we know about the Bowery, we already know how these people roll, okay? They're, homeless in disguise. I don't even want to know if it's disguise or not. But, we have roaches crawling around, bugs. Like, it's a very much unsavory place, okay? So, we meet with Maisie, okay? And she's like the queen pen. And so, he's trying to understand what she would need from him to be down with this cause and this plan. And she says, well, it's not money, it's love. Because these people that I work with here, they are pretty much in situations where they are unseen. They lack opportunity, and I want to give them opportunity, so they need love. So I was questioning this motive here, because mind you, she's a direct competitor of Cormac, right? So what exactly is the ask? Okay, you're saying love, but are you asking them to be held in better positions in life? Are you asking for jobs? Are you asking? I don't know. I just want to know exactly, specifically, what you're asking for, Maisie. Okay, I just want to know. And then we see, there's some guy that's behind her, throughout certain scenes. So I'm not sure if this is supposed to be like the young Lawrence Fishburne character from John Wick. I'm just curious, because he seems like he's kind of like her oppressed, what's the word I'm looking for? Apprentice at this point. So I'm curious as to see, if something happens to Maisie and we see the king of Bowery, the Bowery King, which is promoted, which may be Lauren Fishburne's character. So I'm curious about that. So it looks like, we may have Maisie on our team. We're not sure, but we know that they understand in terms of, Cormac's people, what's going on with Winston's train of thought, because his people showed up at the Bowery and they were quickly dealt with. Like they came up, pow, 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 3 cars. Next thing we see, the people at the Bowery killed them real quick and drove off with their vehicles like it was nothing. And as we remember from John Wick, child, these people, they're efficient. They're efficient, okay? And they're invisible. And I think that's their greatest strength. Like they're so invisible to the average person that they're the best assassins to me. Like we saw them, being homeless on the street in John Wick. We saw them in the subway. Like that's really like the best covert way to, be an assassin. Like I think that's so fire. Lady Virtue said, I was scared he was going to hit a child. Yeah, me too. Me too. I'm like, we're over here at a birthday party, sir. Is this the only location you could find this man? But thank God he didn't, okay? So, we leave the Bowery. So, yeah, she has some free time on her hands. She's getting better. So she goes back to the movie theater that her and Frankie shared, okay? She's looking at pictures, going down memory lane, and then we are interrupted because we hear some noise. And it's 3 guys with machine guns looking for the coin press, okay? And she's like, oh, no, you're not in my house. So this is giving me, like I said, Home Alone vibes, okay? Booby traps everywhere. Mind you, Yen does not have any guns. She kicks all these men's asses. Very much easy. Mind you, they all have machine guns. And at the end of the day, she's the last woman, only person standing in this movie theater. She's my favorite character at this point. Like, I love me some Yen. Like, go girl power. Because, yeah, she's fire. She is so fire to me. So we see Cormac. He's at the chapel, seemingly in a Continental, and he's politely cursing out Hansel and Gretel because he's upset that this coin press has not shown and revealed itself yet. Okay, he said, hey, we have 3 days and no time to get this coin press, so y'all need to get it popping. Stop playing with us, okay? Because they are on our asses. So, of course, he excuses them and he's looking to God like, help me, God. And, of course, Sharon was back there, just as some more support, if you Oh, God. Hey, Candy Love. Thank you for coming through, boo. I appreciate you. So, Winston, he shows up at Charlie's place, right? And it seems as though Charlie's friend Ronnie he was pretty much hiding. He was hiding like in a floorboard of Charlie's place because he didn't want to be found, of course, because we already know find equals death, okay? And he had his son with him. So, of course, Winston comes in, they have a conversation, and he's like, hey, where's Charlie? He's like, Charlie is long to the effing gone, okay? I'm like, Charlie, you supposed to be these kids' God's parent. What are you doing here? Where are you, Charlie? Like, Charlie, he did not waste no time, okay? And so Ronnie asked Winston, like, hey, what are you doing here? I thought you would be long gone too. He was like, well, I have a mission, okay? And Charlie always told me he knew a guy every time I needed something. He was like, yeah, I'm the guy. Can't you tell? I had the helicopter. I'm the guy. I was like, you talk your stuff, Ronnie. You talk your stuff. He was like, yeah, Charlie. Matter of fact, he owed me for the helicopter. Like, fuel is not cheap, sir. Okay, and that's why I got his Mustang. And I'm taking a few other things. I said, collect your things, Ronnie. I am not mad at you. Okay. So it looks like possibly Ronnie may be of some assistance. So we may see Ronnie on a rooftop somewhere with a helicopter in episode 3. We shall see. Okay. So Lemmy and Lou, they're at the dojo and they're having a pretty much insightful conversation, and we learned that Lou pretty much does not deal with guns at all. It's a pact and a motto that her father had, using other weapons, your hands, your body, that gives you options for living. Guns do not, okay? And I understand, girl, do all you need to do, but I hope this does not come into effect in the next episode, because I really feel like she's going to be in a position where she's going to actually need a gun to possibly save her brother or somebody else. Like, I feel like she's going to end up breaking this rule of hers. But we're going to see. So, she asked Lemmy, like, hey, why are you doing this? You ain't care. You give a goddamn about Frankie. But he said, yes, but I love your brother. I love Miles. Look what he's done for me. Like, when I came out the war, I had nothing. Now I have a work. I have a place to stay. Like, he's really, somebody that I'm down for. And I appreciated that. And which scares me, because I'm like, is Lemmy going to die? I don't know. It's giving a little foreshadowing. We're getting background, because we may not see him too much longer. So I'm a little afraid of Lemmy. I'm not too attached to him, but I still would be sad if Lemmy was to go, right? So, we have a crew meeting, with Miles, Gene, and Winston. So Yin comes in. Apparently, Frankie created this own set of blueprints for the Continental, which seems very much accurate according to Winston, okay? And he points out, hey, whoever goes and gets to this room, this armory here, it's pretty much going to be on one leg up in terms of this fight that we're trying to fight. So I think we're going to come into play and see, there's going to be some struggle to get to the armory, because that's where all the good guns are. Okay. So we also learned we need an inside man. Okay. And of course, this is going to be tricky. This is going to be interesting, but we need somebody on the inside. All right. Meanwhile, the most cringy part of the episode, KD shows up, okay, at her lover / boss's house while he's with his family playing Twister. Child. I was stressed out, okay? Of course, Mayhem's wife know nothing of what's going on with KD. She even offered, hey, KD, you want to come in to play? Yes, I don't mind. I should come in. I'm like, KD, you was really about to be playing Twister with this woman's family? Like, right hand on red? Like, was you really about to be playing, girl? Like, let me know. Let me know. I mean, it's funny because we see aspects of KD where she's like a stickler for rules, and she has that part of her personality. Then she also had this personality where she's like, I don't give a F, okay? And this is the I don't give a F part of KD, okay? So, her and Mayhem, they kind of go in the hallway, and he's flirting with her, and she was like, your wife is a couple feet away, sir. What are we doing? He's like, I know that. Keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. Be quiet, man. That's what you get. You can't be out here cheating, okay? And so she's like, hey, I need to find a green VW in Chinatown without a warrant. Can you make it happen? Well, she really didn't ask him to make it happen. She kind of low-key threatened him to make it happen. And it was kind of a good strategic, manipulative move on her part, because she's showing him like, hey, I can pull up at any point in time and ruin your whole family, okay? So don't F with me. Get it done. Get her done. I'm like, okay, I'm feeling that. KD is a little risky of a move, but do what you got to do, sis. Do what you got to do. Hey, Frillo, thank you for coming through. But yes, I don't know. This situation is very interesting with KD. But I'm still curious to what's going on with this connection with Frankie. Like, is this your long lost brother? Like, what's going on? Let me know what y'all think about this whole KD and Frankie thing. Like, I don't know. It's something's a little off. Okay. So Miles asked Yen for assistance for a pickup. Okay, he got a little situation he need to handle. So they're on the way to their little pickup, and they start having this conversation because she sees a little Muhammad Ali article. Well, not article, like a magazine with his face, and it shows like the fight of the century. And so in first sight, it looks like you're talking about a fight in boxing, but Miles kind of breaks it down like, no, this is pretty much, talking about Muhammad Ali's fight against the Vietnam War. They were pretty much trying to get Muhammad Ali 5 years in prison, but he went all the way to the Supreme Court and he pretty much won the situation and, was able to continue his career, but they made it very much hard for him. Okay, so that was a real fight. Okay, and we also get, some insight with Miles and his bond and connection with Frankie, because, he starts telling this story about just flashbacks about, war, what it was really like, mentally in there and emotionally. And, we see Miles get a little teary eyed. And I'm like, Miles, this is not the time. I ain't come here for no tears. Like, what we doing here, Miles? Like, you get, it's a little too emotional. A little too emotional, Miles, but I appreciate it. I really enjoyed the actor who's playing Miles. So it's a real touchy moment. So they both pretty much are sharing, their connection with Frankie. And then Yen, she states like, hey, I never thanked you for helping me get to the country. So apparently Miles helped Frankie get Yen into the United States. I was like, oh, this is a cool fact. I'm like, okay. So of course they're bonded by multiple levels. So that was a cute moment, right? So apparently this mission that we're on is helping the greater cause, because we need to go ahead and get a van because we got to hook up on some walkie-talkies, okay? And I'm like, all right, cool. This seems a little sketch. Like, we need some more people, but I'm rocking with you, Miles. Okay, let's get these walkie-talkies because we got to get it in Cormac's ass, okay? What's up, Detroit? How you doing? Let me know if you want to come up later if you can. If not, I understand. So, y'all, Miles tells Yen, hey, if things don't work out, if I don't come back, drive this van home, okay? If anything goes awry, go back outside. And so we see him get in the vehicle, but the gate's locked, the code isn't working. And I'm like, abort mission. So I'm nervous. The guard comes out. Miles does a horrible job trying to get it out of the situation. And so the security guard asked him, hey, can you step out of the vehicle, sir? It was giving very much cop, and I was very much scared. I'm like, oh, this is about to be the end of Miles, okay? But Yen comes through in a clutch because she rams the van into the gate, opens the gate, and allows Miles to speed off. I'm like, Yen, you are the real MVP. She yells out, shit plan. Like, this plan of yours was shitty, okay? Thank God. Yen for president, okay? Yen for MFing president, right? So we see Gene and Winston. They're in a building across from the Continental, and they're scoping out because we got to do the due diligence. If we're going to get this plan in action, we got to get it done correctly, right? So we make a small note that there's a red button on the roof. And if that red button is pressed, killing is very much allowed at the Continental. So I really feel that we're going to see this red button be pressed. It's going to be on and popping up in there, and I'm a little nervous. Okay? Okay, I got my bro up in here. What's up?
What up, dog? My bad. I'm thinking it was tomorrow. I had looked at the message and let me get up in here.
No, you good. I wanted to get it done before episode 3 because I hate being behind. But I appreciate you coming up.
No problem.
I do have some questions for you. Before I get into some questions, I'm gonna just finish. We're gonna just discuss the rest of this episode, right?
Okay.
So we see, I'm talking about Gene and Winston. They're scoping out the Continental, and they see Sharon and Thomas the cellist, on the rooftop. So we learn more about Sharon. How you feeling about Sharon and his character? Because I feel like he has the mannerisms, everything down pat from Sharon in the John Wick series. How you feeling about him right now?
I like his character, to be honest with you. Kind of remind me of the old boy in the OG.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Yeah, he got the walk down pat, like he's doing his thing. And I like that they're getting some insight because we really didn't know much about Sharon and John Wick at all.
Yes, because they ain't telling much enough. All we knew, he was a right-hand man. That's all we knew. We didn't know his backstory or nothing, man.
Facts. So I'm glad we're getting a lot of information. So we learned that Sharon, he writes his father. His father pretty much gave him everything to come to the U.S. And then Thomas, he tells that he got into, this conservatory school, and he wants Sharon to come with him. I don't know why, and I hate saying this, but it was giving me like, we talking about couple vibes? Like, what we?
Yeah, I know. I was about to say that. I'm like, is y'all a couple or something?
I hate that I was feeling that way, but I'm like, what's going on here in Detroit?
Right. I was like, okay. I don't, what I mean? I don't want to, that last scene was kind of weird too. But I ain't gonna before it went off. But I don't want to get into that. But I know you're gonna get there. But I'm like, okay.
Yeah, because he was like, you should come with me, and I'm like, that's not abnormal, but still, it was kind of off. I don't know. It was.
I agree. Dang.
Sharon was like, I can't really come with you. He pretty much he's under the impression that if he proves himself, Cormac is going to bring his father to the U.S. Do you believe this at all?
None of that. Nothing. I don't believe it.
Yeah, me neither.
That's cap. We know that's cap. We know that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, Lord, this boy just so naive. But of course, how sometimes you're in desperate situations and you're like, well, I'm just gonna rock with him to at least see if it can happen.
Yeah. He young too though. He young too though.
Exactly. He's a teenager still, they mentioned. So, he's trying his best. But I don't believe it. Even Thomas was like, well, I hope he keep his promise, because Thomas like, yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen, sir.
Exactly. I think we know that ain't gonna happen.
Facts. And then of course we see how Winston and Lou, they trying to, pretty much get in Sharon's head. So we see Sharon, he goes to the post office, get the letter from his father. Then he goes like to this record shop.
Mm-hmm. James Brown playing in the back.
Huh? Yes.
Some nice Jamaican music with some James Brown playing.
Yes. The music. I love the music in this show. It's definitely on point. So one quick question. I was curious, right? So Sharon kind of left his letter on the table, and that allowed Lou to kind of take it, right? Because the guy that I guess he owns the record shop, he was like, "Hey, Sharon, let me come over real quick. I have something to get off your mind, like stress reliever." You think that was hitting a blunt or something?
Yeah, I think they was hitting the blunt, to be honest.
I was looking, Detroit, I'm nosy. I was like, what y'all doing over there?
Man, they had that Jamaican music playing. My man was hitting that blunt, man.
I was like, okay, Sharon, you'll get a little lifted.
Yeah, he getting twisted right now. He said he have stressful in that Continental. He got to get it popping.
Exactly.
Can I say one thing?
Go ahead.
What's up with the I forgot her name, but she the cop, right? She's a cop.
Katie. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she did something there. She went to the man's apartment with his kids, knowing that she's sleeping with this dude. She cheating on him, man. She kind of knew it too, though.
You think the wife knew it, or
no, not the wife, but she know what she doing though.
Yeah,
she said that I'm effing you for information for I can get what I want. Basically, that's what she said.
Yeah, I was just talking about that before you got on. I think it was kind of like a manipulative play, because it's one of those things where, like, I'm right here, sir, right in front of your family. Like, I have the potential of blowing up your whole situation if you don't do what I need you to do.
And he talking about you smell good, man. You about to risk it all for this, man.
Yes, you like to say risk it all. He's about to risk it all.
Man, that boy, wild boy.
Katie, you on what? Because she could have pressed them at her apartment, or at the station, but she knew she was very calculated by going to that man's apartment.
Yep, she was smart though. She said, "I know he gonna say yes to get this warning." She gonna see this was gonna happen with her. She want to see what's going on that Continental, but she gonna wish she never would have found out, because it ain't what she think it up to be, man. She gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, she's giving me very much curiosity killed the cat.
She gonna be a pack, man. She's like she gonna die in that Continental. I don't know.
She didn't do something because and we see him warning her multiple times, like stay away, like it's not for you. But she's not trying to hear it. But speaking of her, we see Mayhem break into her apartment and he sees something, but we don't see it. Like, what do you think her connection is with Frankie? Like, I don't know. It's giving me like long lost family, but I'm not quite sure. Like, what do you think about that?
I'm thinking this might be somebody she might be related to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Because she too deep into this though. Like I've been to forget. I'm like, yo, you try to get a room at the hotel, it didn't happen. You know what I mean? It's clean as a whistle. It's nothing that you can really do. You don't have a warrant. Why are you so worried about this one particular place?
Exactly. Yeah. I was even thinking that, or maybe like some weird long lost law thing, but I don't know if I like that storyline. I think I would like a family member type situation, because she did mention when she went to old boy's apartment with his family, she said, oh, well, I never had a family night with my family. So she kind of indicated like she may have not had like a traditional like family situation. So I'm curious what's going on and what he found, because she's definitely kind of obsessed with the situation.
Oh, she definitely is though. She need to let that go though, because me personally though, I don't see her making it. Like I don't see her making it, man, because she too. Sometimes you look for the wrong things, you find the wrong thing, and she mess around and get killed because they not playing around.
No, and you could tell it was clear episode 1. She don't know what she doing. She roll up in the Continental with cash. Like, girl.
Exactly. And they looking at her like, we don't want your cash. We don't even take cash.
Exactly.
Come on,
it's
man.
Like you go to the grocery store and try to write a check. Girl, what we doing?
Right. You ain't nobody getting no room in the business Continental. We don't even know you.
Exactly. That was
Jesus
hilarious
Christ,
to me.
Man.
I'm like, girl, she's the first detective, in this, department. So first woman detective. So I would like for her to stick around because of that fact, but it ain't looking too good for her.
Oh, it ain't looking too good for her. It's looking bad for her. Like she ain't gonna make it.
I know, right? So Lou, I overheard you, not overheard you, but I was listening to some of your live the other day, and you said that Lou, the kickboxing chick, she, is your favorite character.
Yeah, she's my favorite character. Yeah.
Why is that?
Because she's a black woman giving and ain't taking nothing for a name. She don't play no games. You see how she was whooping them up. I like her, and she can act too, by the way. But that's my favorite character.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Like she ain't backing down for nobody.
No, she not though. She not. She basically let it be known, like, and the scene that I like, he was like, okay, enough is enough. You embarrassing them.
He had to get the blicky out. He was like, yo.
Exactly. I want to know what borough she from. You know what I mean?
True.
That's what I want to know. She kind of giving me she from Harlem vibes, to be honest with you.
Well, Chinatown is, we're going through, if we basing it off of like, this is her daddy's place, I'm assuming that she grew up around the dojo. And Chinatown is located in Manhattan. So,
okay.
So, that's where a lot of like the little, you've been in New York before, but that's where a lot of like the little, we have Little Italy, we have, Chinatown, Harlem, like all that mainly you're going to hear about is going to be in Manhattan. So
she could claim, she basically from Harlem, she could claim Harlem then.
Probably. Harlem is more like upper Manhattan. Chinatown is like more downtown, but I'm assuming that they lived around the dojo, but they probably did live in Harlem because it's crazy the fact that they even able to have a business in Chinatown. So they probably didn't live in Chinatown too. That was probably OD if they did.
No, they ain't living on Chinatown. Her father just got that, was there, but I think they were from Harlem.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. But what do you feel is going to happen? Because I'm calling him the bully. The Chinatown bully pretty much told her, well, he said it when she was walking off, that the boogeyman is coming. Like, what do you think is going to happen? Because he's making me a little nervous.
The boogeyman is coming to basically everything is happening at Continental. That's what's the boogeyman. I think her, Winston, I think all of them going to end up teaming together to end up taking them people out in that Continental, including that lady right here you got on right here with that mask on. She crazy.
Oh yeah, the adjudicator. Yeah, she a lot. But yeah, I'm curious. I just hope This little bully don't be over here messing with our little dojo.
You know she gonna die on her sword regardless.
Facts. So Lou ends up throwing out the cigarette machine. Of course, that's gonna piss the bully off. But we're gonna have to see what happens with that. So we get to the bus situation, which I kind of like to see. How do you feel about the bus situation?
That bus situation was crazy because they had my man shook.
Yes. I think it was a little pee in his pants. I ain't gonna lie.
He peed in his pants. He thought he was gonna die.
Yes, because he was thinking it was some revenge, and Winston was like, "No, this is about justice." And I did like the little story time he kind of gave about him and Frankie and Cormac, because he was like, they used to run errands for Cormac, and he had Frankie pretty much was facilitating Winston's plan of skimming off the top. Yeah. And so it kind of shows Winston is like the brain of the operations, and Frankie was like the muscle, if you will.
Right.
Frankie, not saying he was dumb whatsoever, but just seems like he was just about the action.
Yeah, his brother Frankie was about that work, about that action. You saw in the first 5 minutes of the scene, it didn't take long to get to the point. He wasn't playing no games, so he about the action. Winston was a mastermind.
Yeah, he's definitely pre-John Wick, like.
That's a fact.
Frankie was handling his business. So we see Cormac, pretty much they have a long history with Cormac. Cormac pretty much made them homeless. They don't really touch on exactly what happened to their parents, but do you think, Cormac has something to do with their parents' death, or have you not thought that far about it?
Yes, I think he had their parents killed, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that too. So Winston, he has a lot of issues with Cormac. So I'm excited with his little takeover situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we see Cormac. He summons the cellist to his office, bro. Like,
oh my God, man.
Detroit, was it necessary to kill this cellist? Like, what is Cormac on right now? Like, why? Explain what's going on with this man.
Man, look, I know people got their problems with Mel Gibson. I get it. But this man is incredible actor and director, man. Mel Gibson is credible, man. Like that acting at that scene was like, dang, man, I've been missing this from a long time, but it was uncalled for, man. Why you do that to that kid, man?
A mess. I'm not even gonna lie, Thomas. I thought he was a little smarter because I'm like, okay, read the room, bro. I don't think this is the guy you want to tell that you asking for his assistant / right hand man to run off with you. Like, maybe you should have left that detail.
Yeah, I would have chilled on that. I would have never said that. Let me pick your brain for a minute though. Like, okay, in the butt when they was talking in the bus, right? He said there's gonna be some things you lying about. It's gonna be some things that it's gonna be some secrets. But then he found this. I'm not saying that's his boyfriend. That's his friend at the ground or whatever like that. It's kind of making me seem like it was, but I'm not gonna do that. Yeah. They went in there. He saw him on the ground. You seen his face, like, what the heck happened? He's told him the truth. You think that's a part of the plan, or he just was like being upfront with him?
Yeah, that kind of threw me for a loop because I didn't think he was going to divulge that information to Cormac. To Cormac, because I'm like, he just told. So now it's interesting because it's like it could be him going with the plan. Because maybe I feel like if he didn't see the cellist dead, he probably just would have kept quiet. So I'm thinking possibly the cellist was like that last straw, like, oh, I can't really F with him like that.
Yeah, because he making it seem like, okay, what Winston said is true. This dude is crazy.
Yeah. He said he about himself and, he's selfish. And so I think it's a couple things. The fact that Thomas told Sharon, like, hey, I hope he comes through with your whole father situation. So I think a couple little details kind of making, Sharon like, And we'll, of course, eventually knows how it ends up.
He say alive, though, so you already know, like, he ain't going to be dead.
Exactly. And then we know, Winston eventually takes over. So I feel like we know, which way Sharon probably is going to go. I feel like if he stayed 10 toes down with Cormac, Winston still wouldn't have had him around. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
So that's why I'm like, okay, he probably still on board. But I was a little pissed off because it threw me off because Cormac was like, Thomas was trying to steal from me. And I'm like, why are you lying to this man?
Yeah, and then he said, what he was trying to steal from me? You. Man, that's incredible. Man, I almost threw my phone. That's incredible writing, man. That is incredible writing. This is what I be saying about these shows. That's when you know, man, that's what I be liking these shows. It's incredible writing. You don't know what's about to happen.
Exactly. I was at the edge of my seat. I was like, yo, then he was like, well, you can tell I got a little teed off.
He looked at him, he was like, question, what did he steal from you? He was like, you. And then his face on, he's looking like, oh my God, this dude is crazy.
Then he kept with the manipulation. He was like, well, I think we need a new musician. Yeah. Didn't your father play the violin? So now he playing into, his emotions and everything. I said, damn, he good. Like Coming to America, that boy good. Like I was giving it it was
crazy. Man. I was just like, wow. I'm like, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, PG. I don't want this to end. I'm kind of mad. I think they should just broke it up like episode 1, 2, 3. I would have been here for the long run. This one, like 3 episodes ain't enough for me, man. I need more.
Yeah, I think they kind of wanted to test it out, and maybe I don't, because I hate that the fact this writer strike. I feel like it's throwing a lot of things for a loop, and they probably couldn't promote this at all, really. Because honestly, I didn't hear about the show until you was the one telling me about it. So I'm just curious because if they were able to promote it I feel like people are still watching it, but I feel like, of course, it would have been better if they were able to like advertise like they normally would. But I don't know. I feel like maybe this is good enough to where they can ask for a season 2. Like, what do you think? Because I feel like they're gonna execute episode 3 great, but I'm still gonna want more.
Yeah, the true story, I've been knowing about this since 2020 because this was supposed to be on Stars.
Oh, really?
Because it's a Lionsgate property.
Mm.
And they had a disagreement about like y'all don't know what y'all doing, so we just gonna make Lionsgate just made the deal with Peacock to show it, and that's what people be calling 50 Cent crazy about Stars. The man is not crazy. Because ain't no way in heck you gonna get rid of it. This would be a hit show on Star. This is what you need on your network. Why would you get rid of this?
Yeah, I think Stars is giving very much cheap.
Yeah, man, this is crazy. But yeah, I knew about it since like 2020 when they greenlit it and everything like that. Oh, wow. So I've been waiting for this for a long time, man. So they said it was supposed to be like a breakdown, like episode 1 through 10, but then they broke it. They said they changed it. They said it's gonna be like a movie. And then when they say like a movie, that means it's an hour episode. So if you do the math, that breaks it down to like 6 episodes.
Yeah, you are correct about that. Yeah, because it's been like an hour, 20 minutes, which I appreciate. Because if y'all going to give us 3 episodes, at least as long.
Right. It's like an hour and 20. It ain't no commercials or nothing.
Exactly. I mean, if you got that Peacock Premium. I messed around and I signed up and I forgot there was 2 options. I was like, hold up, what was these commercials, bro? I can't.
Yeah, I had to get rid of that, man. I had to get rid of that.
We grew up with commercials, but we don't want nothing to do with no advertisements.
No, I don't want no advertising. I don't want no commercials or nothing like that. Just give me. I'm good.
That's facts. So since you knew about it for a long time, did this like exceed your expectations or meet your expectations? How you feel about the show? Like,
man, it's incredible, man. I don't want it to end. I didn't know it was gonna be this great. I didn't know it was going to be this great, man. I swear I'm going to be crying when it's over because I need more of this, man.
Yeah, I don't have any complaints. So for episode 3, like, what do you expect to see happen? Like, of course, I think we're going to see a big showdown. The crews coming together. Do you predict any like deaths or like what do you see for episode 3?
Yeah, fortunately, it's going to be some deaths that we don't want to see. You know what I mean? I want to see Winston get down. Remember, in John, I never really seen him get down like that. I seen him shoot somebody, but I never seen him get down like that, though. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to see what's going on. And I want to see if Frankie's wife, is she going to survive? Probably not. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I want to see if she going to survive, though.
Yeah, she's given like hard-headed and stubborn. Because we already saw, she wanted to stay at the movie theater, and even though it didn't make sense, she wanted to stay and fight. Like, she's kind of stubborn. Question I wanted to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
So we saw that scene with her in Saigon. She was pregnant with the bomb, right?
Right.
It didn't go off. Like, can you clarify or like give me your input as to what happened? Like, do you think it was just a test, like by her husband or whoever he was? Like, what exactly think about that situation where she tried to, detonate? Well, is it detonate the bomb?
Yeah, detonate. But I think it was a test, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think it was, though. You know what I mean? Because I just don't see it. Her just ended it like that. I just think it was a test, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Frankie did the whole test. Remember when he sacrificed his life and they thought they had what they was looking for?
Yeah.
And look what happened. It was nothing in there.
Yeah. I'm thinking because when the beginning of the episode, they gave Winston like what Frankie had on him. He had like a coin, and I believe it was some keys or something. So I feel like Winston is going to find the coin press, and he's gonna, that's going to be part of his ability to overthrow Cormac. If Cormac don't die, I feel like he's gonna die anyway. But he's gonna be able to probably kill Cormac, take over the Continental, and the fact that he will have the coin press, I think that would grant him like, just being able to take over the Continental.
If he don't die by Winston, he gonna die by the Continental because he broke the rules. You don't supposed to kill nobody on Continental grounds.
They did find who do you think? Because we saw the adjudicator, she was giving the message like, and we heard that he killed somebody on the ground. Like, who told? Like, first of all, the man was in his office. Like, who over there snitching at the
Yeah, somebody that told everything. So they gonna try to get him up out of there, man. For real, for real.
But it was a pointless kill. Like, if you gonna break a rule like that, make it make sense. Like, what we doing?
Right. It was pointless. It was reckless. The dude was jealous. He don't want nobody to have. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but this way, he basically said you can't be with nobody but me.
Yep. That's how I felt. It's like, oh, you want options? You want out? Like, nah, that's not what we do over here.
Man.
Yeah, that pissed me off. There was something else I wanted to ask you. Hold on, let me
say this before you think. Let me say this. Let me ask you this. How you feel about Winston? I mean, like, come on now, let Frankie wife see her husband. Y'all sit there. This girl was sleeping. And y'all damn near cremated them without even telling that is her husband. Like, show some respect.
Yeah, that was messed up.
That was dirty, man. They were
such in a rush, but I'm like, did y'all really need to be in that much of a rush? I don't know.
No, there wasn't no need to be in the rush because, I mean, it ain't like he had the key that they was looking for.
Exactly. Yeah, I didn't understand the sense of urgency. And I think part of it is because Winston, I think he felt like he had higher ranking than Yen, the wife. And they don't really have no rapport, so it's like I don't think he really cared to respect what she would have wanted.
I don't think he had no higher ranking though, because his wife that's his wife. Like,
well, no, I think in his head, how some people are just like, they like, well, that's my brother. I grew up with him. We,
yeah, man.
At grandma's house at 3. Like, you don't have the same type of rapport with my brother, even though you his wife. Some people have that mentality. Like,
for sure. That even though that's wrong, if that person married, that you don't, what I mean, the wife has to say so. Like, that was kind of wrong what they did. It was
wrong. And then we also have to look into their background. They grew up without a family, without really a parental example. So he probably don't really know about the pecking order like that, or just don't care.
I don't think he care about care, to be honest with you.
Facts. So we did see, there's a little red button on the roof, and that would indicate it's all killing on the ground. So I think it's gonna be bloodshed all over.
It's gonna be another classic, like they 2 for 2 right now. It's about to be 3 for 3, and we about to get another hour and 20-minute episode. I'm definitely here for it, to be honest with you.
I would. Well, I didn't check it, but I'm like, I wouldn't be mad if it was a little more than an hour and 20 minutes.
If they give us 2 hours, I'm good. I'll sit there and watch it.
One more question about I'm trying to get some clarification. So we went to the Bowery, like, Queen Pin, right? Maisie. And so, of course, we're trying to get the people on board, because I feel like the Bowery, like, they fired me, like, just stay always on point. but she's asking for a love because these people aren't really seen. They're like
right.
they kind of down and out. But exactly what is she looking for? Does she even get it? Because it seems like the Bowery's still the Bowery when we see John Wick. So what is exactly she wanting?
I think she mean what she said. I think she really mean to him to tell his story for she can feel the love. She need to feel like she can trust him.
Yeah, but I also think she's wanting like something for her people, but I wasn't quite clear exactly.
I think she wanted her people to get needed. Because right now they seem like they living like like homeless, kind of homeless.
Yeah.
She looking for a place of care, and I think like money wise for them.
Yeah, because it looked like she wanted, them to kind of improve their living conditions. Like, so I'm like, are you asking for them to be in the Continental? Like, what you?
Yeah, it kind of seemed like that's what you want, to be honest with you.
So I don't know. I was thinking like, okay, but it seems like it don't happen because we see.
Oh, it don't happen.
Yeah, so I don't know. She may get off. I don't know. There was a guy behind her when it was outside. So I'm like, is this the young like Bowery King? Like, is this the Lawrence Fishburne character? I don't know.
Yeah, because I think it is because I think he ended up dying. I mean, I think she ended up dying.
Yeah,
and I think he ended up taking over. That's what I think it is.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too. But man, this show is hella good. Like I love when we come across shows like this, and it's horrible as I hate that we have such great shows like this, and they give us just a small little taste.
Yeah, like
shows that's not as good, but they give us all the episodes.
Right. They don't want to like they ain't gonna give you all the episodes, but they damn sure gonna make you want to come back.
Facts. So I definitely love this show. I mean, it gets an A+ from me. Of course, we gonna see what happens in episode 3 tomorrow. I'm gonna watch it probably at work in the morning.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, cause it come on like 5:00 in the morning our time, so I ain't about to stay up that late for that show.
No, I can't.
For no show.
No, I can't. Midnight is midnight the one. That's the
midnight is it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
I ain't waiting up to no 2:00 in the morning or no 3. I'm gone for real.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I ain't gonna lie, I be up, but still, I ain't up just for that.
I know you be up, but not no 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah, not at 5. I'm sorry, I'm snoring at that point. Okay.
Right, sleeping and everything, man. Heck, they good. I'm good on that.
Anything else you wanted to share about this episode? Like anything you like?
Nothing else. Just an incredible episode. Let me ask you: do you watch horror movies?
No, I'm really like a punk when it comes.
Okay, never mind. But if your husband do, let him know. Saw 10. Oh my God, that's incredible. That's the best Saw since the first one.
Really?
Just to let you know.
It's up to 10 by now.
Yeah, they had 10.
I think I watched maybe a couple snippets of one. I can't like low key Detroit like Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer like that. That scares me. So I know I'm from Harlem, but that don't mean nothing. Like I'm still
Sorry, ain't that bad though.
Annoyed. Like if I do watch something like that, it gotta be 3 PM. I gotta watch a cartoon afterwards. Like I can't go to sleep after that. Like I'm too paranoid.
A lot of people is though, but I don't really care though. You know what I mean? I'll watch it, man.
Yeah,
but it's life. Good though.
I ain't thug life like that.
I love horror movies though. But no, that's it though. That's all I want. I mean, I know, Power Book. What's this? Force come on tonight. I heard it was a dope episode, so we about to see.
Yeah. So we gonna see. It's starting to stress me out a little bit, not in a bad way, but I just want to know where y'all taking us. Because this roller coaster ride, I think I want to get off because I'm stressed.
Yeah, long as our boy Jannard get some help, they said they're gonna get the man some help in the rehab, so we might not see a lot of him in this episode.
I will be okay with that. I have hope when I don't see him, so that's cool.
Get him some help and let him get CBI back. That's all I ask, man.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Tommy.
They got the goat. They got one of the black goats back. Our time. Man, they got Robert Townsend. He directed his episode.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he directed a lot of stuff that we. You know what I mean? The man is back.
That's fire. Oh my God. Okay, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, we got a couple hours, so I'm gonna do some chores and get my life together.
Yeah, we gotta see how this episode gonna be, man.
We gotta see. But thank you for coming through.
Oh no, dog. Anytime. If you
This
want me to come for 3, I'm here for 3. If you want somebody to come for Rap-ish that come out next month, I'll be here for that too, man. I'm looking forward to that 30-minute episode, but I like that show.
Yeah, me too. I hope it ain't, maybe further delayed. I don't know. But we gonna see. You be knowing the word on the street, so I'm gonna have to go to you, Blair Detroit. What's up?
But they said it on their IG. They said December. You remember they pushed it back, so it's coming out next month.
I just wasn't sure if there was another update, coming down the pipe. Like, okay, we decided to push it back again. I don't know. I'm really not. I'm just flying up the seat of my pants at this point when it comes to this schedule. So I'm just happy for Raising Cane to coming back soon. I'm excited about that.
That's coming back in December though. By the time it looking like the actors is probably gonna get a deal next month. I mean, not next month, next week. So they'll be able to promote the show.
Yeah, I'll be happy about that. So, and honestly, Raising Canaan really don't need promotion.
It really don't though, but it's gonna get some promotion anyway because they pumping that out as like one of their best shows on Stars. They're gonna spend a lot of money on that show.
That's true. But if not, they got us because we gonna be talking about it.
Oh, for sure.
What you got coming up on your channel?
Oh no, I'm gonna do the first reaction. You know what I mean? I know you ain't gonna be able to come, but I know you're gonna be in the chat. Doing your thing though. But if you can, I'll send it to you. We're gonna do that. All right. And then other than that, that's it.
Okay. What I got coming up with us today? Yeah, my review on Sunday morning, and I'm trying to probably review this show, episode 3. I'm probably see Sunday, Monday.
Okay.
Monday. I'm gonna have to figure that out. But whoever is catching the replay, please like this video, subscribe, and everybody in the chat. Thank you. I appreciate you for coming through. And we
sure. Yeah, peace. I'm about to get back to this football